Hello and welcome to the United Stand. This is your transfer daily Manchester United transfer news where we talk all the latest news and give it that real fan opinion. And we've got some extremes today on the show. We've got some decent stories and some bizarre stories as well. But we'll start off with, it's the Champions League on Saturday. We're going to have to face up to it. It's going to happen. We're going to have to go through that 90 minutes as Manchester United fans and watch if Liverpool do and complete the nightmare season for us. But the interesting thing about this is that Gareth Bale is a player that gets linked to Manchester United quite regularly. Quite regularly, we've covered him over the last few years, and I'm sure this summer's going to be much the same. In fact, it's probably only a little bit quiet at the moment because Bale has that Champions League final with Real Madrid. Now, the story that we've seen in relation to this is that Liverpool could be the key to Gareth Bale coming to Manchester United. Now, how does that work? Well, it works in this way, reported, that if Gareth Bale is on the bench on Saturday, then that will encourage Manchester United to put a bid in because it shows that Gareth Bale is not part of those first team plans of Real Madrid. However, that's been pretty much consistent the story this season. However, Gareth Bale is playing quite well at the moment, so he may well start. But Bale to Manchester United, I think interesting. Question one, would you take Gareth Bale to Manchester United? I think 2 months ago we spoke about this, and many fans were like, no, he's too old, he's injury prone, it doesn't work. But as we've seen with United over the last 2 months, I think we're coming round to the fact that we may well be buying a few players around that sort of age group of 29, going for it next season with a very experienced team and offloading some of those younger players that Mourinho maybe doesn't feel are performing consistently enough. So, yeah, with Bale, I believe still one of the top 5 players in the world on his day, and I do believe that. Injury prone, certainly. Can he hold up in the Premier League? But I have to put my hands up and say if Gareth Bale came to Manchester United, I would be excited by it. I would be excited. He's a very good player, and it's only the injury concern that concerns me. And yesterday we were talking about Toby Alderweireld, and his injury record over the last 2 years isn't that good. And I'm sure if you said to people who've got Bale injury concerns, would you take Alderweireld? They say yes. So I think you've got to take Bale as well, maybe. Get your comments in below about that. Little bit of good news. Is looking like Marouane Fellaini to AC Milan is going to happen very, very, very soon. This has been reported by, I think it was Sport Witness. They're saying that this deal is escalating very, very quickly and it could go through in the next couple of days. Remember, it was Di Marzio who reported the director from AC Milan who was saying that Fellaini is not going to renew at Manchester United. They know that for sure. They're trying to get him to AC Milan. Now, there was some talk about an AC Milan transfer ban last night, but I can't really see anything too firm about that. So hopefully they can sign Fellaini before that, and maybe that's why the deal is being escalated quickly. And, there is a smile on my face about that now. I know I've said in the past that it's a bit frustrating that Mourinho was begging him to stay, but the ends justify the means. And if Fellaini's the one who decides he goes, we still don't have Fellaini in the squad next season, which I think if we brought Talisca in, a lot of people after our video last night were saying that a bid has gone in. He's a better player than Fellaini, and that would be straight away an improvement to go along with some of the, I believe, positive improvements around the coaching staff. So looking good with that one. Dybala, I'm going to hold on for a minute because I do want to talk about Dybala. But Anthony Martial, again, lots of talk about Anthony Martial, and United have apparently made a decision that they're going to sell him. However, the rub of that is that they don't want to sell him domestically. They don't want him to be going to Spurs or Chelsea, who are meant to be interested. So a swap deal with Willian would probably look unlikely. Doesn't mean Willian wouldn't come to Manchester United, although reports are that he loves playing for Chelsea, just can't play for Conte anymore, which could be solved quite easily because I don't think Conte will be Chelsea manager come August. So, but in relation to Anthony Martial, Juventus maybe is an option. PSG is another option. There's part of me that it would be intrigued with Anthony Martial staying in the Premier League in a sadistic sort of way to see what he can do, playing consistently for a team week in, week out. But clever of Manchester United to potentially close that route off because you don't want that biting you in the backside week in, week out. And Mourinho gets it with De Bruyne and Salah, who were ages ago. So imagine what he'd be like next season every time Martial scored a goal. Press conference, what do you think about that, Jose? So maybe Jose's put that in if Martial's going to be sold. A bit of a bizarre story is around Paul Pogba. Now, whether Pogba's going to stay or not, I'm sure he's going to rumble on and on for a few weeks yet. But where his likely destination, if he did go, is quite interesting. Juventus. A return to Juventus now being offered up, which I find bizarre because unless Juventus have got 150 million quid, how are they going to take him back? I mean, as we know, the Italians don't have as much money as La Liga or as the Premier League, so they're going to struggle to do a deal like that. You are going to get your bizarre stories in the transfer window, and I think that is totally bizarre. Juventus will not be able to get anywhere near what we paid for him, let alone what he'd be worth now. And I did want to ask that, get this in the live comments, how much, I don't want just a figure, give us a sentence in the video comments below. How much is Pogba actually worth? Some people are thinking about whether he'll go or not, but if he did go, how much would we get for him? Because one thing Mourinho has brought to United is an ability to get a good price for a player, something we've not historically done that well at. So how much do you think Pogba would go for? I personally think, and you can knock this down if you like, I think 150 million. I think anything less than that is a joke. He's, 25? We paid 90 million for him. The market has gone up in that. He's got he's massively marketable. Yeah, he's been a bit inconsistent for United, but I think if you put him back in a league that's a little bit slower, he'd be fantastic. I think 150 million. Anything less that, and I think we're getting robbed. So, and who would pay 150 million? I said this about 3 or 4 months ago when the Pogba problem started in January. It's one thing thinking Pogba can go, but the brilliant thing United have got is a very good contract with him. And who would pay 150 million pound for Pogba at the moment? I don't think anybody will. So I don't really see that happening at all. Sidibe, the Monaco right back, there was a little bit in the Metro. Yes, the Metro saying that United are preparing to put a bid in for him. I personally don't think we'll go for a right back. I think we'll go with Fosu Mensah in Valencia next season, and I think Sidibe would cost about 40 million as well. Talking of another right back, Hysaj at Napoli, the Albanian Said Hysaj, I think his first name is, Albanian right back, plays for Napoli. His agents, we spoke about him last week as a potential option. I said no, he's pretty much a 80 at everything in FIFA 18 sort of player, and he's not really what we need. His agents come out and said Napoli want him, and he's going to be staying at Napoli. So that's been killed off by the agents as a story, which is good to hear. Milinkovic-Savic's agent came out yesterday as well. Kesman, who used to play for Chelsea, saying that he's got a very big contract at Lazio, but there's a lot of interest in him. I mean, whether that's noteworthy or not, it has been said. But I did want to just talk about... can I talk about Dybala now? Let me think. Yeah, I can talk about Dybala now. I want to just read this list out. Eden Hazard, Dybala, Lewandowski, Griezmann, Icardi. That's Neymar. That's 6 names. And Bale, add him in there as well. They can't all leave their clubs, but Lewandowski's meant to be going, Icardi's meant to be going, Dybala's meant to be going, Hazard's meant to be going, Griezmann's meant to be going. Well, there's only so many places those players can go because they're all coming from half-decent teams. Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid, Juventus, Chelsea. They can only really go Man City, United, Barcelona, Real Madrid if they want big pay rises, PSG. So they can't all go. Now, Dybala is a player that Agent Pogba. Now, I don't believe the Agent Pogba thing works anymore. As I said, I had that theory about Griezmann, and maybe Pogba had said he might not want to come here now because Pogba's clearly looking a bit unsettled. But Dybala to Manchester United, probably not. And there's nothing to add on that. But it did get me thinking that there are a lot of players, and they can't all go to Real Madrid. Like Dybala's apparently going to Real Madrid. Hazard's going to Real Madrid. Lewandowski's going to Real Madrid. Griezmann's going to Barcelona. Icardi's going to Barcelona. But these clubs have already got Ronaldo, Isco, Asensio, Bale at the moment, Benzema, Messi, Suarez, Dembele, Coutinho. They can't go and buy another 2 attackers without letting those players go. So I think it just got me thinking that Manchester United could be well placed if they do decide that they need a really top of the range attacker if Martial goes, because all those players can't all go to Spain. Man City probably aren't looking at somebody like that, which leaves us front of the queue. And I just wanted to add it in there because a lot of people feel we're not going to sign an attacker, but if Martial goes, as many people think he will, we probably will, and there's a big list of attackers looking potentially to be moving this summer, out of which it would always be Griezmann or Dybala for me. But we'll have to wait and see. Who would you take out of those? So a few questions for you this morning. Remember to drop a like on the video, get commenting below, and I'll speak to you all later. Thanks for watching, and speak to you soon.